Hello and welcome to another episode of Reviews for Adults. My name is Ali. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Today we'll be talking about It's a Sin, which just premiered on HBO Max. Now, It's a Sin is a 5-episode miniseries for Channel 4. Well, it was developed originally for Channel 4, and it was created by Russell T Davies. And it features a group cast consisting of Ali Alexander as Richie Tozer, Omari Douglas as Roscoe Babatunde, Callum Scott Wells as Colin Morris Jones, Lydia West as Jill Baxter, Nathaniel Curtis as Ash Mukherjee, I think, and David Carlisle as Gregory Finch. Now, these are all a group of friends who moved to London, and together they become friends, they move in together, and they deal with the AIDS epidemic that ravages the gay community. Now, Neil Patrick Harris and Stephen Fry have secondary roles, and they're both very good. I will have to say here that Neil Patrick Harris was amazing here. I mean, his British accent was amazing, and I really want to listen to it more. So I really hope that he gets more roles playing, British men. Okay, side note 1. I knew I recognized Ali Alexander from something when I saw him, and I knew that he has a band that's called Years and Years, but I knew I saw him in a film somewhere else. He was in this film called God Help the Girl. It also stars Emily Browning and Hannah Murray, who many of you will recognize from Game of Thrones. And of course, Emily Browning from a series of Unfortunate Events with Jim Carrey, as well as the series American Gods, which is playing right now, and other films, of course. But anyway, so the interesting thing here is that film was written and directed by Stuart Murdoch, who is one of the members of the indie rock band Belle and Sebastian. And that film came out in 2009. So it was a long time ago, but I was like, oh my God, I knew there was something interesting there. So that's that. And a second side note, I recognized Lydia West from her role in the aptly named 10-episode miniseries for the BBC One and HBO called Years and Years in a Serendipitous Twist of Events. So that was really fun. Okay, so let's start by talking about what It's a Sin is about, and then I'll get into a little bit more detail about some interesting facts. So first of all, you should know that It's a Sin is hands down the best miniseries on television right now. Just period. It is extremely well acted. I love the character development. The writers did a great job of pulling you in emotionally through the lives of a lot of characters, so not just one. It has about 3 or 4 protagonists, and it's a wonderful ride that is very well crafted, very, very well acted. I mean, seriously, I cried a lot. I did. I cried a lot, and not all of it was done, came out just because it was such good writing. Like the acting is very good here. What it is that it's a story that follows these mostly young gay men who, are very, very young at the beginning of the AIDS epidemic, and who, just are at the very, sort of front lines of this thing, while prejudice and misinformation, as well as just having a lack of information of what this new sort of virus is, just really affects their lives, and how they have to deal with the knowledge of this new sort of illness spreading through their communities before they even become diagnosed, some of them, and then how some of the characters deal with the illness as they experience it. I mean, it's extremely well done. And what I love about it too is that it doesn't really pander to your emotional bank, right? It's not manipulative emotionally, but it does make you feel extraordinarily empathetic towards these characters. And Oh man, it's just so infuriating at some points where your favorite characters, where you're like new best friends, are getting treated so horribly by the prejudice surrounding, homosexuality. And then they also have to deal with this horrific illness. And they're just so young, and it's just really, it's just hard to watch in the sense that it's hard to envision these young people dealing with so much, and there's so much courage in this play, and it really sort of affected me emotionally. Like I said, I really did cry a lot. The faucets were turned on. But it's also not like a super heavy watch either. Like, it's so fun too at times, and it's lovely. It's a lovely sort of coming of age story too, It's just young people finding out what they love, who they love, and going through those experiences of when you first, get to college and you experience, and you find your people, and you experience like who your community is, and you experience first love, and you experience like what you love, what parts you like to go out to, and what what you want to do with your life, and it's just, there's so much life around this show, as much as there is just this like heaviness of how this, epidemic just ravaged this beautiful community. And on top of that, like I keep saying, just how infuriating it is to have the prejudice on top of the illness, and the kind of willingness to just have not educate themselves, not only the people who it's affecting, but medical professionals not educating themselves on how to treat their patients because of the prejudice. It's like treating people as second-class citizens who are valued less or worth less than other patients just because of their sexual orientation, which of course is ridiculous. Well, it's worse than ridiculous. In the series, there's an allusion to this like law that was passed in the UK under Margaret Thatcher's government in 1988 called Section 28, which said that educational institutions shall not intentionally promote homosexuality or publish material with the intention of promoting homosexuality. As you know, and this is in 1988, so it's not that long ago. Like I keep saying in other issues too, that like these were direct legislation that's going against like basic human rights, So it's really, it's fascinating that this show takes that perspective. So, and it treats it so well. So it wasn't until 1982 that the CDC, at least in the United States, started using the term AIDS. Before that, it was treated as either a pneumonia or a cancer. And so you have all these patients who are getting sick, and sort of nobody knew what it was. And of course, I should remind you of the pandemic that we're going through, that, we still don't even have, we have a lot more information now than we did at the beginning of the pandemic, but I remember at the beginning just like not really having all of the facts straight, or they kept changing because, as in real time, as this virus is affecting people and you're getting more information, you have to determine, like what it is and what it does and what its symptoms are, and etc. So it was very reminiscent of this sort of global moment that we're all going through. And then finally, what I wanted to say about this series is that it shocked me to find out that the creator wasn't able to easily sell this series, and both IGTV and BBC One passed on it because of its subject matter. And it wasn't until the drama commissioner for Channel 4, Lee Mason, fought for the show, fought for It's a Sin, that it was commissioned, that it was taken up. And it's, since then, since it premiered, it's been an extremely successful show for the carrier, for Channel 4. I think that the last measurement that I saw was that on its platform, on its streaming platform, it was the most watched show with 6.5 million views. And so we'll see how it does in the States, even though, of course, HBO hasn't really been doing a good job of promoting it, or I haven't seen a lot of promotion material for it. But it's been getting a lot of very good reviews from everybody. So this is sure to make some, sort of silent waves, I guess, at the beginning. And I hope it really gets like a large audience, because it's worth it. But I mean, that just goes to show how crazy it is that even today in 2021, well, I mean, I guess this was 2018, but still, that wasn't so long ago, how hard it was to get this type of show on the air. Can you believe it? Well, I can't. This is like so good. I'm so happy that Channel 4 did commission it. So that's it for this mini review. Please watch this show. It is so good. Performances are amazing. The writing is great. I really enjoyed it, and I hope you do too. You should come back after you watch it and let us know down in the comments what you thought about it. And that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching this video, and have a wonderful rest of your day. My name is Ali for Reviews for Adults. Catch you next time.